guys, welcome to Lit Comp 2. Today we're going to do some Keystone prep and talk about what is the ACE approach. So at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to use prove it to me language and the ACE approach within constructed responses. So prove it to me language has some examples of prove it to me language that you can keep in your pocket for Keystone Prep Day. So prefer for you to have about 5 of these in your head on Keystone Day. Things like so and so fits this description, first, second, third, the author did this by, rather than, the fact that, therefore, according to, as a result, even though, however, in particular, in spite of, nevertheless. You can pause this to look for 5 that will really stand out to you or help you with keystones. We left off talking about constructed response questions making up 35% of the possible exam points. So our key learning is to use prove it to me language within our response, and your topic sentence should include the main idea of the passage. Not only did our responses use prove it to me language, but we're also using the ACE approach. By using this approach in our writing, we can ace our answer every time. And statistically, if you score a 3 on every constructed response question, you will be set up to earn proficient on the Keystone exam. So ACE in Keystone terms stands for assertion, cite examples, and explain. And we're going to break down how ACE can be a little bit simpler for you. So ACE is to make an assertion. So in other words, you'll begin with a sentence that must be proven. Often this will be a restatement of the main idea. Then for C in ACE, you are citing an example. On the Keystone exam, this means that you'll pull an example from the passage. You can either quote it or paraphrase it. And then E in the ACE is to explain your example using that prove it to me language that we just looked at. So let's take a closer look at assertions. Another word for assertions is to call those topic sentences. An assertion is not a statement of fact. It's a sentence that you have to prove and support. So for nonfiction prompts, the assertion should be the main idea of the passage. For fiction prompts, the assertion should be the theme of the passage. So look at the sentences below to determine whether they are assertions. We have dogs are truly a man's best friend. While dogs are domesticated, they are closely related to the wolf. And on 4th of July, Americans celebrate the birth of a nation. Let's look at dogs are truly a man's best friend. This is an assertion because it is an opinion. Some people prefer cats. You would have to use examples to prove your opinion about dogs. Number 2, while dogs are domesticated, they are closely related to the wolf. No, this is not an assertion because it's a fact. You don't need to argue this statement because there's nothing to prove. And then number 3, on July 4th, Americans celebrate the birth of the nation. Again, this is not an assertion because it's just a fact. So we have talked about RACE method before, to restate, answer, cite, and explain. But now we're going to move into the ACE strategy, right? So here we're answering the question, citing evidence from the text, and expanding on our answer. So we have 2 ways to kind of look at this ACE strategy. Your ACE requirements are a 5-sentence minimum for each paragraph. Your sentence 1 should be your topic sentence. This is where you answer the question. Sentence number 2, 3, and 4 are detail sentences. These 3 sentences should include 2 examples from the text to support your thinking. And then sentence number 5 is your concluding sentence where you wrap up what you were just discussing in your paragraph. You can easily extend your elaboration to 3 or more sentences. In a normal paragraph, text-based evidence or a citation comes before the elaboration. Excellent elaboration is usually 3 or more sentences. So some sentence starters are to explain, elaborate in other words the author means is saying. And other sentence starters could say this means, this suggests that, this shows, this expresses, this illustrates. Elaboration sentence number 3 starters could be the effect of this proves, this reveals, a consequence of this may make someone feel blank because. So, what does A stand for in writing? We talked about this already. A, answer the question as your claim. C, cite evidence from the text to support that claim. And E, elaborate the text cited evidence. So let's look at this question. Should cell phones be used in school for academic purposes? We can answer the question, cell phones should not be used in school for academic purposes. Then we'd be citing evidence to support our claim. So according to the author, we can see that prove it to me language. The use of cell phones shows no real improvement in the students' test scores or grades. Then we need some detailed elaboration in the rest of these paragraphs. To explain this text shows students' grades and state test scores show little to no improvement with the use of cell phones in the classroom. This shows that cell phones are unnecessary to the learning environment in a school. The effect of cell phone use in the classroom is it would definitely be a distraction, and students will have a harder time paying attention. So we can see the use of prove it to me language and pulling text evidence out. So there will be some questions for you to work through in this assignment. So you'll be doing a song analysis elaboration. Our practice question says, how does the narrator show strength in this song? You'll be breaking it down into your 5 sentences. Your first one is to answer the question or claim in 1 sentence. Then your second sentence is to cite a line of text evidence. Then you'll put 2 more text evidence sentences into then your concluding sentence for 5 in total. So each question is going to be 1 new sentence in this 5-sentence paragraph. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to use prove it to me language and the ACE approach within your constructed responses.